In the archives of the Cloud Sea, a scribe might have paused mid-ink, trembling at the scene he witnessed. The name Wang Lin is etched in the annals tonight, not merely as a cultivator, but as a force that dared to defy destiny itself. 2,000 years of life distilled into one relentless sequence. 100 punches that shattered continents, collapsed star fog, and drew blood from the eyes of a third-step master. Daoist Water, bruised and enraged, now prepares to unleash the full weight of reincarnation itself, his hands sculpting death into reality. Yet an ancient voice, born on a sudden gale, refuses to let the final chapter close. The battlefield teeters between annihilation and miracle. This is the stage for Recap, Renegade Immortal, Chapter 1279, 1280, where an ant challenges the heavens and the world holds its breath. Listen closely, for what I am about to recount is a tale of life and death, of a battle so fierce that even the heavens themselves seem to tremble. In the endless expanse of the Cloud Sea, a single figure, small yet resolute, prepared to unleash the culmination of his entire being. Wang Lin, the indefatigable cultivator, raised his fists, and with them, the weight of 2,000 years of cultivation, his boundless origin energy, and the mysterious power gifted by the Iron Sword's blood, surged into motion. 1, 2, 100 strikes, each one a manifestation of his very soul. These punches were no ordinary blows. They were the essence of Wang Lin, a living storm, a desperate charge against destiny itself. He hurled himself at Daoist Water with the inevitability of a moth drawn to a raging flame, a moth that sought to extinguish the inferno with its very body. Daoist Water's eyes widened, disbelief etched deep into his features. Never before had he seen such power contained in one mortal frame. The vitality and sheer force emanating from these 100 strikes radiated brilliance and danger. Even for a third-step cultivator like him, normally unshakable, a ripple of fear stirred. But his attention had been divided, his focus strained against the relentless pressure of the seven-colored nail. And yet, the impact of Wang Lin's punches carved devastation across the battlefield. Thunder rolled like the drums of doom, transforming into an unstoppable storm that surged toward Daoist Water. With eyes blazing, he wove a hand seal and thrust forward, summoning a vortex of water that spiraled like a gaping maw, ready to consume all in its path. The heavens and earth are infinite. Water Dao devour spell, he roared. The swirling torrent ripped at reality, shattering star fog, toppling wild continents and sending shockwaves rippling through the Cloud Sea. Even the rank 6 region itself seemed on the verge of collapse. Wang Lin's body, drenched in his own blood, quivered as his heart faltered, yet still he endured. The full force of his 100 strikes had carved destruction upon destruction, leaving nothing untouched by the tremor of his sacrifice. Under the crushing assault, Daoist Water's body bore the marks of damage. His clothes shredded, his hair flared like wild flames, and a trail of blood marked the corners of his mouth. A third-step cultivator wounded by a mortal ant, rage flared. Pain, fury, and disbelief collided in a storm within him. The seven-colored nail, once restrained, now drilled deeper, carving 3 more inches into his skull as Daoist Water coughed blood runic with ancient seals. Good. For an ant like you to injure me, even while resisting the 7-colored god void nail, you have left a mark on this world, he spat, eyes burning with monstrous intent. With a step forward, his right hand rose, vast as the sky, descending upon Wang Lin. Carefree reincarnation Dao, I will end you across 100 lifetimes. I will witness every rebirth and extinguish you again and again. The weight of his command drew the very law of reincarnation into his hand, shaping it into a colossal wheel of destiny. One strike, and Wang Lin would be annihilated 100-fold, leaving no trace of survival. But just as the hand began its descent, a wind tore through the battlefield. A voice, ancient and resonant, cut across the chaos. Slave Daoist Water, if you strike him down, I will strike you. The force of the words froze Daoist Water, his expression darkening as he scanned the void. The voice belonged to an entity long sealed by the ancient celestial realm, trapped in stone for 100,000 years to be refined into a treasure. You dare interfere? You wield borrowed power, yet seek to halt me? Daoist Water sneered. Still, as his hand moved to crush Wang Lin, the wind coalesced into a massive arm, snatching at the reincarnation wheel with relentless strength. Junior slave, once you bowed before the Lord of the Sealed Realm, Now you have grown arrogant. I survived where ancient evils failed, the voice intoned calmly. Daoist Water's pupils contracted as the wind hand tore at his creation. Impossible. Sealed as he was, how can he resist my stop spell? He draws power from beyond the stars, he bellowed. In response, he summoned a cultivation planet, dense with origin energy and vitality, comparable to a rank 5 ancient god. 2 billion yin and yang disciples, spirits bound to his will, surged forth, their energy coalescing into a monstrous force. With each of 3 rapid gestures, shadows of this planet launched toward the wind hand, colliding with a resounding explosion of destructive power. The wind hand faltered, but pressed on, seizing the wheel and crushing it under unyielding might. Daoist Water's rage reached new heights. Die! Die for me! He roared, hurling the cultivation planet like a comet, destroying 500 million disciples in a single devastating strike to smite the avatar before him. The battlefield shook with thunderous rumbles, the energy of the Joss flame, the remnants of shattered disciples, and the fury of third-step cultivation converging in a cataclysmic torrent. The wind hand was damaged, the ancient voice injured, yet it vanished, leaving only silence. Daoist Water, with 7-colored nail rotating futilely above his brow, seethed with madness, his mind teetering at the edge of despair. Every ounce of his strength, every shred of his divine law seemed powerless against the audacity of this mortal. And then, in the midst of his frenzied charge toward Wang Lin, a single finger of wind pressed upon the 7-colored nail. Daoist Water's expression twisted in shock and rage as countless shadows materialized before him, halting his advance. He stumbled back, fury and disbelief etched into every line of his face. You are still not dead," he screamed into the void, his voice carrying over the shattered cloud sea, trembling with both rage and fear. The battle raged on, the forces of mortals and ancients colliding in a legend that would echo across the ages, a storm of fists, a vortex of water, the cries of disciples, and the unrelenting will of Wang Lin, all entwined in a tapestry of wuxia fury where even the heavens dared not interfere. The air trembled with an unnatural stillness, as if the heavens themselves were holding their breath. And then, without the faintest whisper of warning, it appeared. A finger of fate, sharp and sudden, slicing through the chaos of the moment. Daoist Water had believed his enemy vanquished, his mind teetering under the maddening influence of the 7-colored nail, only to find that salvation, or doom, had arrived in this single decisive strike. It was a heavenly opening, a perfect convergence of timing and destiny. There could have been no moment more advantageous, no moment more lethal. Daoist Water's eyes widened, his retreat a desperate blur, yet even at full speed, escape was beyond him. Shadows surged to defend, twisting and fleeing, but the finger swept through them like a scythe, shattering illusions, scattering darkness into nothingness. And then it descended, inexorable, onto the 7-colored nail lodged between Daoist Water's brows. The air tore itself apart as an immense force erupted. Daoist Water's scream split the void as the nail drove forward with brutal precision. Inch by inch it pierced, relentless. 3, 4, 5 inches. Only 2 remained, and if it went all the way, death would come uninvited, resting squarely upon a vital point between his eyebrows, a weak seam in the fortress of a cultivator's body. Pale dread swept over him, chilling every thought. He knew, with the stark clarity of memory, the torment the 7-colored god void nails could inflict. He had seen his master fall, struck down by 94 of these cursed blades, and the searing agony etched in that visage haunted him still. "Master, save me!" he cried, stumbling back as the finger pressed onward, pushing the nail ever deeper. Yet from the depths of his body a force long dormant awakened. It swirled, coalescing at the back of his right hand, shaping itself into a radiant charm. Golden light burst forth, illuminating the shadowed void, striking the encroaching finger. It hissed and vanished, leaving the 7-colored nail trembling but unyielded. A voice, ancient and heavy with the weight of eternity, whispered through the golden glow. "Lord of the sealed realm, once granted this servant 3 shields of protection. 2 were squandered, yet the 3rd endures, even after countless millennia. Though you betrayed, the pact remains. Even in death, you are shielded." The tone carried both admiration and sorrow, a lament for ideals too rigid to bend. Then the voice faded, leaving only the echo of inevitability. Daoist Water's body shivered, drenched in sweat, pain and fear warring within him. He gritted his teeth, a feral grin cutting across his face. "Master, even in death, you protect me, yet you must perish now. You must." The madness born of the seven-colored nail clawed at his mind, but his cultivation tempered it, shaping a resolve as sharp as steel. As long as it hasn't pierced completely, I can expel it through closed-door cultivation once this ant is dead. His eyes blazed with deadly clarity as he surged forward, charging at Wang Lin without hesitation. Wang Lin stood, serene as the eye of a storm, witnessing the unfolding catastrophe with unshaken calm. No fear stirred in his gaze, only the quiet certainty of one who had glimpsed the boundaries of life and death. Life and death, cause and effect, true and false, opposites all. I have wielded a fist of life, yet death within me still stirs. Let us both succumb together, he murmured, a calm fury rippling beneath his composure. His aura twisted, ancient god stars around him trembling, willing themselves to shatter for one final unfathomable strike. The stars exploded, fractured fragments of immeasurable power, bursting into the void. From their remnants, a vortex formed, suffused with a deathly aura capable of rending the world, splitting yin and yang, unraveling reincarnation itself, and from within this maelstrom a spark of essence emerged, the precious seed of a third-step cultivator. Wang Lin, who had once drawn power from scrolls, now glimpsed the true nature of his own essence, tiny yet unshakable. Shock struck Daoist Water like a torrent of ice. The madness ebbed, replaced with stark, raw astonishment. This child, he could reach the third step in a mere 1,000 years. He comprehends essence itself. His mind raced, a storm of fear and fury. Determination coiled like a dragon in his chest. He must die. Daoist Water hurled himself forward, right hand raised, summoning a colossal cultivation planet to crush Wang Lin, to obliterate this fledgling cultivator who dared rival him. Yet Wang Lin's life and death essence swirled, slow but inexorable, pushing against the encroaching doom. The sixth star, freshly mended, shattered along with its brethren, their explosion birthing a wider vortex, brimming with ancient god aura and karmic essence. Wang Lin's second essence, forged from the cycles of cause and effect. Daoist Water's heart pounded as terror gripped him. One essence alone might mark a third-step cultivator, yet Wang Lin possessed two, the likes of Sovereign and Qinglin, beings of myth and near divinity. If Wang Lin reached the third step, escape would vanish. A fleeting thought of discipleship flickered in Daoist Water's mind, but it died instantly, consumed by the feral desire to end this extraordinary life himself. This child hates me, yet his talent is unmatched. He will die by my hand. That alone will bring me joy. Madness sharpened his grin as the cultivation planet descended. But then, in a heartbeat of impossibility, the star of law between Wang Lin's brows imploded. From its collapse, a third vortex erupted, entwined with essence. The domain of true and false had reached fruition. Three essences now surged outward: life and death, karma and true and false. They were fragile, nascent, but the doorway to ultimate cultivation had cracked open, whispering of a third-step ascension yet to come. Daoist Water froze, eyes nearly bursting from disbelief. Three essences. No one has ever entered the Tao with three. This child defies heaven itself. If he steps into the third, even I will not escape. His pulse raced. Sovereign and Qinglin had two, his master 2.5, yet this child had three. An anomaly the heavens themselves might seek to erase. Could this be the reincarnation of a fourth-step, heaven-trampling cultivator? Pale and trembling, Daoist Water's teeth clenched, the last shred of reason fell away, leaving only the burning need to destroy. His third-step cultivation power, fused with the massive planet above him, an unstoppable force primed to descend. Even if you are a heaven-trampling reincarnation, you will die. For this old man, killing you is worth every drop of blood spilled. Die! Die! The void itself seemed to quake as destiny's final act unfolded.